From 1964 till date, the Nigeria Police Force has been led by 21 indigenous Inspectors General of Police who exercised full command and operational control over the police and all its departments and units as stipulated by law. Crime and criminality are dynamic, so they contended with the realities of their time. However, one thing that was common with the first 20 indigenous IGPs was that their operations were premised on the 1943 Police Act. Unfortunately, the 77-year-old Act does not conform with the current realities in crime fighting and police administration. Hence, the signing into law of the 2020 Police Act, which repealed the 1943 Act by President Muhammadu Buhari GCFR, which was acknowledged by many stakeholders as watershed in crime fighting and policing in Nigeria. Premised on the 2020 Police Act, particularly Section 7, Subsection 6, President Muhammadu Buhari appointed Usman Alkali Baba, CFR, as the Acting Inspector General of Police on the 6th of April 2021. He was decorated by the Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo, SAN, on the 7th of April and subsequently confirmed as the 21st Indigenous IGP by the Police Council on the 4th of June 2021.
I think we're dealing here with a very knowledgeable, very competent individual who has shown the necessary operational capacity for a modern police force in a challenged security landscape.
Having risen through the ranks, Alkali has in-depth experience in operations, investigation, and administration. He understands the challenges of the force and how to fix them. So, Alkali led his active, dedicated, and patriotic management team, which include DIG Department of Finance and Administration, Dan Malam Muhammad, FDC, DIG Department of ICT, Moses Jitobo, MNI, DIG Department of Logistics and Supply, John Ogbonaya Amadi, MNI, DIG Department of Research and Planning, Aji Ali Janga, MNI, DIG Department of Training and Development, Hafiz Mohammed Inoa, MNI, DIG Department of Operations, Adeleke Bode Adeyinka, MNI, DIG Department of Force Criminal Investigation, Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, and the Force Secretary, AIG Habu Sani, to pursue a total reform of the police with the aim of building public trust and ultimately guarantee safety of lives and property in Nigeria. Though Alkali took over at a very challenging period in our country, his performance has been adjudged exemplary by many stakeholders, including state chief security officers.
I can confidently, without any contradiction, inform you that the current management team, we are performing excellently in conjunction with our amiable leader, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali, MPM, FDC. The working relationship is very cordial, fantastic, marvelous, and so far so good. We don't have any issue besides the issue of how to move the force forward.
Nigerian police force have started witnessing the reform since the assumption of office of the present IG, Usman Alkali.
I'm not a praise singer. My experiences with the former IGs from when I came into office in 2015, before the present IG came in, was terrible. But my experience with him as the new IG shows that there are people who believe and committed to carrying out the assignments given to them professionally. So I'm quite impressed with the activities of the IG Usman Alkali Baba.
Is a man that has distinguished himself as an officer and a gentleman. He's, by my own estimate, the most humble IGP that I've ever met. This IGP has given me all the support to ensure that I reduce crime to an absolute minimum in my state.
He's competent, he is responsible, he's proactive, and he understands the meaning of national interest. So he's just a good man, and he's a capable Inspector General of Police.
I respect him a lot because he is one of the most experienced police officer who become IG. And of course, he came at a time when Nigeria needed his services because, of course, he has brought his experience to bear because he has totally changed the face of policing in Nigeria for the better.
IGP Usman Alkali Baba has done very well in terms of, focusing or refocusing the face of the Nigerian police force to the various challenges that are facing this country, be it banditry, be it rustling, be it ethnic, religious crisis, regional, zonal, and whatever. The most important aspect of what Alkali Baba did is to have interface and a robust relationship with other security agencies with whom they are working together. And I believe not only me, everybody around has seen the impact of his leadership within the security palace of this country.
So far, from what we have been seeing, he has made a lot of innovations. He has made a lot of inroads into the problems of the police in this country. And I believe, and many people have said it, that he is the right person for this job. He has tried to make things better.
I want to score him high. He's been able to restore some calm to a restive force.
Done that very, very, very well. In terms of providing security cover for the country, in terms of rising up to developments, in terms of restive people and criminal activities, he has done very well.
Alkali, honestly, as far as we are concerned, is the best among the Inspector Generals of Police so far we have seen. I have seen so many Inspector Generals. They came to my delivery, police, and that's so many things. But honestly, to me, and to be precise, is the best among the Inspector General of Police.
One of the IGP that is always complying with the Appropriation Act, Procurement Act, and the Fiscal Responsibility Act. So is result-oriented.
The thrust of Alkali's leadership is on welfare of personnel, infrastructure development, training and retraining, acquisition of operational assets, especially arms and ammunition, provision of logistics, and digitalization of police operations.
Passion, commitment, dedication, and also being in the system for the 3.5 decades. I have seen much in terms of crime prevention and control. I have seen much in terms of law enforcement. I came into the office of the IG when I had put in almost 33 years in service. And therefore, I feel there are inadequacies that I can make it possible to bring to bear. I mean, inadequacies of places of work, inadequacies of tools, inadequacies of manpower, and so forth. And since I came in, these are things I try to improve on. If you have a good working environment, you will be encouraged, you will be motivated to work. If you have good welfare, you will give your commitment. If you have good working tools, you will also perform better. If you have more manpower, you will be able to make your presence everywhere, and also professionalism, training, and so forth.
This is the redesigned, restructured, and reorganized force headquarters.
My headquarters now is to me is as a PR person is sort of a tourist center or attraction for me. That when I have guests, I want to take them on tourism around the headquarters. I feel honored. I feel proud that I have an environment like this.
You know, the aesthetics of the force headquarters has been enhanced. His office is exquisite. You know, so the place is clean. You know, it has been able to maintain. They've been able to sanitize the environment in that area.
With this, he began massive and unprecedented infrastructure development in the Nigeria Police Force, with priority placed on school, station, barracks and hospitals. So, from Anambra to Kaduna, Yobe to Delta, Kogi to Lagos, and in practically all commands and formations, he has at least 2 projects. This is the Yobe State Command Headquarters in Damaturu, constructed by Alkali. This ultra-modern multi-millionaire edifice is well equipped with modern communication gadgets, and it shall be the template for command headquarters across Nigeria. It was commissioned by President Muhammadu Buhari on the 9th of January 2023.
For the past 30 years, I doubt if the previous Commissioner of Police that have manned the leadership of police force here in Yobe State have gotten a conducive atmosphere for administration until Usman Alkali came on board, where he established Office of the Commissioner of Police, which we believe is second to none with comparison to all other police headquarters in the nation.
In implementing his modern police station concept, which is geared towards making the police station welcoming as well as improve the working conditions for more effective and efficient service delivery, the IGP has constructed 120 modern police stations such as this. These stations are equipped with surveillance camera, 24/7 solar-powered electricity, water system, among others. This is perhaps one of the policies of the IGP that need to be deepened. Ultimately, existing stations will be collapsed into the same pattern.
The model police stations now are standard. Not the olden days we have police stations and you be bending down your head before you enter a police station. No. Beautiful stations, all of them well lit, surroundings well lit, solar power to support when there is no supply from the national grid, CCTV cameras stations. All our stations, they have a muster point where if there's any problem you muster, and the station officer's office is always connected. Is where we have the control room where we monitor activities in all the stations, and there is public address system now that the station officer will be able to press. Modern public address system will press and make announcements if there's anything. I think we've never experienced this in the police.
Now coming to his project, I think if there's any IG in recent history that can be rightly defined as Mr. Police Project, it is definitely IGP Usman Alkali. He doesn't make noises about it, but they are there for everybody to see. Within the less than 2 years he has spent, you could, and the way he spread those model police stations, he made sure that it cuts across all the 6 geopolitical zones, and the model the same. You have the police station itself well equipped. I hope you take time to visit them. When he came on board, he said, in fact, one of his key policing agenda, if you go through it, is the concept of development of model police stations. And he said he wants to change the narratives in terms of the police facilities from where policemen operate from.
In an attempt to face off dilapidated structures such as these, which is a common sight in police barracks, he began Operation Massive Renovation of Barracks and construction of modern ones. In the area of infrastructure development, Over 200 projects have been completed under his watch across the commands and formations, while many others are nearing completion, like the Police Resource Center with 500 capacity hall in Jabi. The IGP recently carried out the groundbreaking of others, including the DIG quarters in Maitama and that of police officers' quarters in Wuse, Abuja.
It has never happened like this because we are having a prototype, a model of a police station. If I'm happy from Meduguri, you go into Yobe, you go and see the standard police headquarters in Yobe. There is no one like it all over the federation. It's close to the. I always say it's close to the force headquarters. So, and this is man that with meager resources can be able to do all this. So, in terms of infrastructure, go to police college. You see, most of the colleges, he has touched all the colleges and our training schools. Police college here, just neighboring my headquarters. If you go there, you see transformation. Most of the road have been tarred. Most of the structure have been renovated and new ones have been erected. The barracks is no more, it's unlike the barracks you used to see in Lagos, because we are having a replica here, but all they are now habitable.
I'm happy you are aware of a lot of projects that have been commissioned by this present IGP. That's why I said he's particularly passionate about the welfare of the officers and men. So it's a way of motivating us and enhancing our capacities, because we really need all those facilities to work, so that we will have a kind of conducive environment. We'll have a kind of things that we can leverage on to make our job more easy, for us to perform our task.
A stoppage of reckless and politically motivated transfer of personnel, a setback to the force, will go down in history as perhaps one of Alkali's outstanding legacy in reforming and repositioning the force.
I'm quite impressed with the Inspector General of Police, Alkali Baba. He's come up with a number of reforms that are sustainable, and I pray that you will have opportunity to do more. What has hitherto been the character of the system has always been that people will begin to move, to transfer from one place to the other. Nobody that tenure of officers become very unpredictable, because at the slightest opportunity, officers have moved.
As a governor, under former IGs, once anybody who is in government, so to speak, goes to IG, I want this commissioner of police to go, without asking question, not even the chief executive of that state. There was a period that within 6 months I had over 8 commissioners of police, and that distorted the security architecture.
The greatest challenge of the Nigerian police force is political interference.
But what I found out from this IG, if you like, go and mount pressure, I want social CP to go. He will ask you why.
In the face of mounting political pressure, IGP has stood his ground.
The peace prevailing in this state today, I will say, is because the IG never interferes with security because of politics.
I want to say I commend his courage to defend professionalism.
And to me, he shows he's a professional. To me, he believes that politics, security should not be played with politics, because if that happens, it will not be for the good of the citizens and the state.
Welfare of personnel under Alkali is top-notch. He rejigged the abandoned age-long tradition of kitting the personnel. Uniforms, kits and accoutrements, body armor, anti-riot and personal protective equipment were shared in phases to inspectors as well as the rank and file.
IGP Alkali Baba, Usman, APM, FCC gave us police uniforms. At first, they gave us like 2 pairs, that is the blue and the camouflage. I got police camouflage, layered badge, beret and sock. Then again, the commissioner said they should clear the store, and they gave me another blue uniform.
With the support of the Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Megari Diginyadi, Alkali secured 20% salary increment for police personnel, reviewed the NPF housing policy, increased shift allowances, and secured tax exemption for junior police officers. He ended promotion on favoritism by sanitizing the process. Since 13th of April 2022, when he approved and implemented the promotion of 21,039 junior officers, whose promotion was stalled since 2017, promotion has been very regular and strictly on merit. Under his watch, a total of 80,861 promotions have taken place, cutting across 28,356 senior officers, 45,563 sergeants to inspectors, 518 corporals to sergeants, and 6,423 constables to corporals.
I know Nigerians appreciate the fact that today the Nigerian police force is not the police force of yesterday. So this transformation is as a result of his effort, which of course borders on welfare, training, and innovation in the system. Police are the brains of the society, so of course wherever you go, police is there. So their welfare is the welfare of Nigerians.
The IGP, Inspector General of Police Nigeria, Mr. Alkali, is a very difficult person when it comes to fighting for the Nigerian police. I know the kind of, I won't call it war, that happens in the boardroom when we have committee meetings, fighting for Nigerian police affairs, making sure that police welfare is well taken care of. And I'm also very surprised and not also surprised that he was able to effect 20% increment to Nigerian police salaries. So that's kudos for him. Just 2 years in the office, he has done marvelous so well in terms of also equipping Nigerian police, in terms of welfare, in terms of digitalizing police. I give him kudos. I'm very impressed with what he has done in terms of community vigilante, where I'm personally involved in his approving for our community vigilante to be trained by Nigerian police. And then also he has given us a lot of support.
He institutionalized pilgrimage to enhance the spiritual life of personnel.
I'm a beneficiary of the program, 10 police officers. We actually traveled to Israel. We traveled for the Christian pilgrimage exercise, which was sponsored by the IGP himself.
Considering the hazard associated with policing, Alkali strengthened the NPF insurance office and also incorporates the Nigeria Police Insurance Company, securing all necessary certification and licenses required to render full insurance services to police personnel and members of the public. On the 19th of January 2023, IGP Alkali disbursed 13.6 billion naira to 7,000 permanently disabled police personnel and next of kin of those who paid the supreme price.
On the part of the government, there have also been backlog of all this from 2012, 2013, where we have 3 months here, 6 months there, and so on. So it accumulated to over 13 billion naira. So when I met the Inspector General of Police with this, he said, this is ridiculous. What will be the solution? We now advise that we put up a memo so that he meets the President and the Commander-in-Chief and solicit for his kind consideration to approve this for the first time. This was immediately approved, which was one of the greatest achievements of the Inspector General of Police.
It has never happened before. IG rolling out welfare packages to families of those who suffer one fatality or the other from year 2012, when he was not a DIG.
How do we supposed to have provided you with courage? The day on Thursday, the federal government approved 13 billion naira for us to pay our colleagues who died in active service and those who were injured Could you believe that some of those beneficiaries are supposed to, well, it happened to them as far back as 2012 and 13. There are relations of our deceased officers that we've not been able to pay the deceased officer's entitlement in the last 12 years. But we paid it last Thursday.
This gigantic, professionally manned, well-equipped with state-of-the-art facilities located in Damaturu, Yobe State, is the Police Specialist Hospital established by Alkali to provide medical interventions for police personnel and members of the public in the insurgents-ravaged northeastern part of Nigeria.
This hospital is a specialist hospital because it has all the facilities to be a specialist hospital. Well, I can say the hospital is very well equipped. We have 3 operating theaters, fully equipped. We have the main theater, the accident and emergency theater, and the obstetric and gynecology theater. They are all well equipped with state-of-the-art facilities. We have a very well equipped ophthalmology department with 2 operating microscopes and many other facilities that are not available in most part of this country. We have well-equipped dental units, and our laboratories are well equipped. We have 4 laboratories: a chemical pathology laboratory, hematology laboratory, microbiology laboratory, and immunology laboratory. We have a standard accident emergency unit, separate wards for male and separate for women, and each of the wards has 12 beds, which is comparable to any hospital in this country. We have a high dependency unit where we can keep critically ill patients attached to that emergency theater, and which is commendable.
IGP Usman Alkali is blessed because in his tenure there are records of so many infrastructural developments. I can mention few. You can see police hospitals, you can see upgrade and renovations of police commands, you can see procurement of vehicles, procurement of firearms, you can see a lot of innovations. That is a privilege the government of the day have put in place. Police on the front burner, on the first list. So, but that is not my job. My job is to oversight them. And in the course of oversighting the police, I will be privileged to have idea about whether there is improvement or there is decay in the system. So, I think he have done tremendously well.
In practically all commands, there is one well-equipped police hospital, including Utako in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, where he cited the multi-millionaire ASR Police Reference Hospital, which he facilitated through the founder of Boa Group, Abdul Samad Rabiu. Under Alkali's leadership, the MPF operational assets have been massively increased. As several new arms and ammunition were acquired, he recovered and handed over 3,980 arms, including 46 GPMGs, 16 locally made rocket launchers, 2 locally made anti-aircraft guns, 7 rocket-propelled grenades, 265 automatic rifles, 146 pump-action guns, 1,909 locally fabricated pistols, 1,500 locally made single-barrel guns, 2,358 assorted calibers of ammunition, and 1,057 cartridges to Center for Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons. Aside the initial 510 operational and emergency vehicles, including armored personnel carriers which he acquired and distributed to commands and formations, President Muhammadu Buhari was at the Force Headquarters on the 13th of February 2023 to personally commission another set of operational assets.
Usman Alkali Baba had been advancing this vision. This is evidenced not only by today's event, but by similar landmark activities of the current police leadership over time, including the recent commissioning of an ultra-modern police headquarters and well-equipped hospital in Yobe State. My attention has also been drawn to the model police station that are being built across the country as part of the modernization drive of the force by the Inspector General of Police,
which include 890 firearms, 75 GPMGs, 10,518 bulletproof vests with armored plates, and 12 Assist-Guard Songa armed drones with firing capacity, along with 631 purpose-built vehicles, which include armored personnel carriers, patrol vans, water cannons, Milan trucks, Toyota Land Cruiser and Coaster buses, Prado jeeps, ambulances, and crowd control barrier vehicles.
He has been able to upgrade police arms holding, vehicular, platforms. Before the elections, I'm sure you were part of the people who saw the unveiling of armored personnel carriers, trucks, and vehicles. So in that area too, you will say he has done very, very well.
The resultant effects of the IGP's interventions is evident in the performances of the police under his leadership. Statistically, 818 terrorists and secessionists suspects were arrested. Also arrested are 924 murder suspects, 2,165 armed robbery suspects, 967 kidnap suspects, 1,023 suspected cultists, while 16,760 suspects were arrested for other crimes. 281 kidnap victims were rescued.
He came with a lot of plans, a lot of ideas. And it's not just ideas. These ideas are now implemented into reality. The IG has put a lot of structures on the ground that enable police officers to perform their duties diligently and effectively.
Those of us who supported Mr. President's decision to appoint him the Inspector General of Police, he has been able to justify that confidence. So I'm very happy that he is still the Inspector General of Police in Nigeria. And I will remain grateful continually for the role he played in restoring security in Imo State.
Came in at a very turbulent time. There was that attack on Owerri prison, which was outrageous. Everybody in the country was outraged, and the then sitting Inspector General of Police had to leave. IG Alkali came in. So he came right into the eye of the storm. If he didn't have the experience, if he didn't have the requisite qualification, he wouldn't have done it. He wouldn't have been able to cope. But we saw that he came in and he coped beautifully.
The air wing of the Nigeria Police has been transformed. This is the first time in 13 years that this hangar is witnessing renovation and upgrade. Aside the basic task, this hangar now provides aircraft maintenance services for different agencies. Practically all the existing aircrafts in the fleet of the NPF were grounded at the time of Alkali's assumption of office. Today, the NPF can boast of 13 helicopters and 1 aeroplane. These police personnel are pilots. 4 of them have certification to fly aeroplane, while 21 of them are certified helicopter pilots.
It's during his tenure that all these things that I'm mentioning have swallowed to be what they are now. Long before now, we did not have the number of helicopters that are flying now, and we don't have even the number of certificated pilots and engineers that we now have. But when he came on board, he examined this place, knowing fully okay the assets and the importance of this place. He went ahead and did not delay in ensuring that, he pumped in money here. If you are aware of aviation, If you know anything about aviation, then you know that it's a capital intensive venture. You cannot operate this place without money. And if you want to sabotage this place, just starve it of money. Tomorrow or next tomorrow, you'll see that most of those things you see here are grounded. If you look at the surrounding, look at this place. This structure has been here for the past 13 years. And for the first time that it has been existing, it's only this present IG that brought this renovation that you're seeing around.
The operational assets of the Marine Police unit has also been enhanced. At first, he acquired 3 gunboats with capacity of 12 passengers each, fitted with 250 horsepower Suzuki outboard engines with F550 and smoke projectiles. In another development, in one swoop, he acquired another 5 gunboats, spare parts and some open boats. They were commissioned by the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Zubairu Gambo.
Talking specifically about the Nigerian Navy Service, the level of collaboration and partnership towards the effective patrols of our nation's inland waterways were efforts by the Inspector General of Police towards strengthening their efforts, through capacity building of the Marine Police, in support of our efforts at maritime security operations within the brown waters has been very, very amazing. You may recall last year I was invited by the IGP to commission gunboats in the Marine Police Department in Lagos, which speaks to synergy between the Nigerian police and the Nigerian Navy towards ensuring the common goal of securing our maritime environment. Furthermore, the relationship, of course, was taken to the next level during just concluded general elections, where the IGP personally reached out to all service chiefs towards bolstering the already established synergy for a successful general election, regardless of the Nigerian police being the lead agency, in internal security. This, I would say, is highly professional and worthy of emulation, of course.
There's no doubt that the synergy between the military and the police has greatly improved. And thanks to, of course, the leadership focus and the reorientation which the IGP himself has brought into it. And I think that it couldn't have been better than this. And for the time past, we have not had it this good. So I think this is what it should be. And I would like to recommend that it be sustained. So in sum, the synergy has greatly improved. Thanks to, of course, the focused leadership of the IG himself.
Honestly, that was a very unique occasion. A unique occasion in the sense that that was the first time I would say, to the best of my knowledge, where a service chief, was invited from under security agency to commission our gunboats. That's the chief of naval staff. That, to my own mind, strengthened the existing interagency collaboration, which we need to actually do our job perfectly and efficiently.
Bringing the chief of naval staff to commission those is to show that we appreciate their tutelage to us, and at the same time we want people to see that we are working together. We want our also men to see that synergizing and cooperating will give us more strength in terms of fighting crime in the maritime environment.
Alkali is passionate about e-policing, so under his watch, the Nigeria Police is undergoing quite but massive digitalization, beginning with all critical departments, including the legal department, the CMR, the Smart Force Database Management Center, the IGP conference room, among others.
The Inspector General of Police, Alkali Usman Baba, was able to help us to establish what we call the e-reporting portal. So those victims that are not Nigerians, that are from outside our jurisdiction, were able to log in to lodge their complaint. And I can tell you clearly, that we've had tremendous successes in helping some of the victims of cybercrime. And I can tell you clearly, if not because of the support of the President's Inspector General of Police, Alkali Baba, it wouldn't have been possible. So for me, I think we've done so well. And for me and my unit will continue to celebrate the IGP Usman Alkali Baba, because for me he's the hero of Nigerian police force, because without him, it wouldn't have been possible. Without providing that enabling environment, it wouldn't have been possible. Without believing in us that we can deliver, it wouldn't have been possible. He's a man that believes that the best is to put round peg in round hole as time to be challenged, because he gives you the best support and allow you to deliver.
This is the NPF Command and Control Center, a 24/7 surveillance center which enables seamless monitoring by well-trained experts.
Well, I think one of the things that the current Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has done very well is moving with time. Policing is a very dynamic profession. Policing moves in tandem with the society. And because policing is a profession that is designed to keep the society going, it remains as dynamic as a society which it is policing. And so you can't police the digital age. You can't solve the digital problems using analog mentality, analog tools, and analog disposition. So the IG, realizing this, has done so much to hasten the pace of digitalization within the NPF.
Honestly, his philosophy is to digitalize police operation. I don't know whether you have been to Oga's office. If you enter his office, right from his office, sitting down there, he can assess his environment without necessarily doing that. Of course, if you are talking of CCTV, no, it goes beyond CCTV. It has upgraded it to a level that, apart from the facility within the force headquarters, outside force headquarters, there's some area you can access. And that is the beginning. What makes the difference between Nigeria and overseas countries, developed countries, is the technology. Because they cannot perform magic more than what we are doing. Why is it that when we move out, when we send our men out on a mission, they perform brilliantly well? But coming back here, the environment is not conducive enough for them to do it, because the technology is not there. And that's exactly what Oga has started doing, and he has been doing it. In fact, he started from his office. If you enter his office, you will see, you will be impressed to be a policeman. That is even his office. If you have been to our conference hall, gone are the olden days when you want to talk, they will say, pass the mic round. No, everything is digitalized. Anytime you see that, you see people talking without even holding microphone. That is the development. That is the kind of development we want. We cannot but join the global trend.
And when you look at the system itself, starting from the welfare of the police, to digitalize the police system, of course, different from the traditional system of running the police, he has introduced new innovations to ensure that the police live up to the expectation of the population.
We have opened our control rooms where you can sit down and do a lot of police works in terms of, look at this is my office. From this office, I am seeing a lot of things. If I like, I can watch up to Wuse Market from this office and look at the number of cameras and look at what it is giving me and so forth. So we are trying to put in science into policing. Policing is also becoming So we do a lot of things, and that's why people are looking at a lot of appreciation and so forth. Our law department is also digitalized. Just last year, we do a lot of record keeping, a lot of things in that department, unlike when we've been doing it manually.
The IGP's Midas touch is also visible in all the training colleges, especially the 4 pioneer colleges in the country. From the Police College, Maiduguri, to Police College, Oji River, Police College, Kaduna, to Police College, Ikeja, Alkali has made indelible transformation.
Look at the police college. That police college was constructed during when we were in the secondary school, 70s. Nobody ever talked of police college, either renovation cost or anything. But when he came in, look at the excellent work he did to Borno Police College, Maiduguri Police College. And even these police stations, we are coming by road. When you can see Ben Sheikh, how beautiful the police station is now.
In terms of infrastructure, go to police college, you see. Most of the colleges, he has touched all the colleges and our training schools. Police college here, just neighboring my headquarters. If you go there, you see transformation. Most of the roads have been tarred. Most of the structure have been renovated and new ones have been erected. The barracks is no more, is unlike the barracks you used to see in Lagos, because we are having a replica here, but all they are now habitable.
So in these 3 areas, that is to say, in terms of infrastructure for the police force, in terms of the welfare of the force, as well as the peace that prevails in our land because of the sleepless nights that the police give themselves, I think I would score him extremely high.
In 2021 and 2022, 10,000 constables each year were trained and recruited from the 16 police colleges in the country, making it a total of 20,000 personnel recruited to augment the strength of the force in line with the federal government maximization policy. Alkali also graduated another 631 Polak cadets into the Nigeria Police. Under the watch of Alkali, training and retraining of personnel has its pride of place. Almost back-to-back, conferences were organized for senior police officers in Imo and Akwa Ibom states. So far, Alkali has made impact in almost all departments and units, including EOD, CBRN, Animal Branch, Mechanical Department, where he constructed and equipped a modern workshop. He has no doubt professionalized the Nigeria Police. The intervention of IGP Usman Alkali Baba in Animal Branch of the Nigeria Police is unprecedented. Aside buying hundreds of horses, he also bought different breeds of dogs, including snifers. In Polak, he commissioned 5 projects which include Administrative Block, ICT Center, CBN Lecture Auditorium, CBN Forensic Laboratory, Indoor Shooting Range, Postgraduate Hostel, Indoor Sports Center and Moot Court. To reform the police in Nigeria, deepening of policies such as the ones introduced by IGP Usman Alkali Baba is fundamental. This perhaps explains the reason the 9th National Assembly, in their wisdom, unanimously specified the tenure of office for an IGP in the 2020 Police Act.
You see that Police Act?
That act was signed during the former Inspector General of Police.
So it was not as if he lobbied for it.
So any subsequent IG will benefit from that act.
If it is followed and implemented to the letter, it's very good for this country.
Fantastic. Gives the IG, the leverage to do strategic planning.
Of course, the appointment is 4 years appointment.
I would think that there's nothing wrong in IGP continuing to do the job that he's been appointed to do under the 4-year tenure.
That 4-year term Inspector General of Police
is good for the system. The 4 years is good for the system.
Mr. President is aware of the law. It was clearly stated before he appointed him as IG.
I had thought he should have made it around 5 years minimum and 7 years maximum.
You know, if you come out with a policy and you don't have time to deepen it, what happens is lack of sustainability. Whoever comes after you.
For policy implementation and follow-up, it requires time.
So that is why that 4 years is good. It gives the IG, you know, a longer period to have a strategic plan and look at timelines on how to do that. So if he comes up with very good policies, you know, in his first year or second year in this thing, then he stays the third year and the fourth year to deepen it. It's a win-win situation for the system.
Mr. President acted based on the law before him.
As far as we are concerned, that law still stands.
In the same vein, the 21st POA president, Hajara Usman Alkali Baba, has been on her toes, traversing the country to improve the lots of Police Officers' Wives Association on a 3-point agenda.
When I came on board last 2 years, I have my 3 key points agenda. And I visited the Inspector General of Police, my darling, gentle husband, and I told him about my 3 key points, which is health, wealth, and welfare. And he said he's going to support us security-wise, but he doesn't know how we are going to get our financial aspect. But alhamdulillah, he has been supporting us and other Nigerian people. They've been supporting us one way or the other. We've gone around almost 18 states now since I came on board.
Aside series of empowerment programs she organized, POA can now boast of 3 well-equipped skill acquisition centers strategically sited across Nigeria.
Skill acquisition center is because when I came on board, part of my 3 key points agenda is welfare. And I've gone to 18 states massively doing the empowerment. But when I turn around, those women I empower, most of them sold the items. So I sat with my management team and we conclude that instead of giving them the empowerment items, why not let them learn the skill? By the time they learn the skill, they will now know the importance of the items you are giving to them. And they will now value it without selling it. Because if they learn it, they will now use the items given to them. And I check around, no skill acquisition center was in process. So I decided to start building it. Then after they learn the skill, we now give them, during graduation, we give them starter pack.
Another testament to the expertise of the IGP was in election security management.
Supervise the governorship election in Anambra State. You can see that the performance of the police force in terms of election security was top-notch in Anambra State. The Inspector General of Police assured the nation and also assured the commission that despite the hype in terms of security challenges in Anambra State, that the election was going to hold. We went to the governorship election in Anambra. The elections held despite pessimism from different quarters and different stakeholders, and the election was adjudged as one of the best elections the commission has ever conducted. I think that for me, the performance of the lead agency in terms of election security in Anambra was top notch, and I think that this boils down essentially and fundamentally to the leadership of the Inspector General of Police.
We had 2023 general election across the country. Even the human rights activists across the globe, not only Nigerians, they said these elections has minimal security challenges because the security operatives are all over the country to make sure that everything went well. So this is very, very fundamental.
As Alkali's transformatory leadership continues to rewrite the story of the Nigeria Police, the IGP must hear this.
Honestly, I wish him all the best. He has done fantastically well, if there's such a word. He has done extremely well for the Nigerian police. And I believe that, yes, for police, the IG is the ultimate, that's the highest. But we believe that even when he leaves this service, that there will be much more opportunities for him based on his track record of what he has contributed to the development and security of this country.
He's very meticulous, very thorough. Any mail we are taking to him, don't think that he will not read. He read from A to Z. And I think he's one of the IGs, few IGs, that a paper can never sleep on his table.
With the accomplishments of IGP Usman Alkali Baba, even in sports, the police of our dreams has just birthed.
All the things they talk about, they correct or they no correct. If you don't know him, say he correct. Me, I know say he correct. So, my prayer is that God will continue to expand your post and the leadership that you have given the Nigerian police will continue to be sustained.
I will continue to improve on what we have daily until I leave the service. So my fulfillment will only come after I must have retired.